Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to quickly take a look at prepositions today. I want to ask you a question first of all. Is it possible to make a sentence in English that's semantically correct without having to resort to the use of prepositions? Is it possible? Well, that's your 2024 challenge. So if you can come up with a sentence that doesn't require the use of a preposition, can you kindly write it under this video? Anyway, it will be that it's the first time I've seen a whole sentence that doesn't require the use of a preposition. It may be that that's possible. I don't know. We all get prepositions mixed up. I get prepositions mixed up. A lot of British people get prepositions mixed up. Research has shown that prepositions are the most difficult for native speakers to even get right. So if you're going to say you'd never get prepositions wrong, I'm going to ask you to come here and teach linguistics at university. Everyone gets prepositions mixed up. They are the trickiest word classes to get right. I'm going to show you a hack. Prepositions are words which describe spatial relationships. They show you how a word relates to another. And often when you learn a verb, it's nice to learn the preposition that it works with. That's the hack. So the hack is when you are looking up a verb in the dictionary, Cambridge English Dictionary, try and see which preposition is used with it. And try also to watch media channels like the BBC and CNN and see how the preposition is used with a verb. That's the way I learn how prepositions are used. Because if you were to rely on how you were taught at school, it may very well be that that's not how the preposition is used here. What do I mean? I've come across a lot of speakers of other languages who use the verb comprise with the preposition of. In Britain, the verb to comprise doesn't take a preposition. I might say, my daily routine comprises waking up at 7 in the morning, when my alarm goes off, getting my son ready for school, packing his lunchbox, putting him in the cancelled assigned transport, coming back upstairs, having a shower or a bath, putting my laundry on. Oh, you've got it. That's what my daily routine comprises. Another person might say, my routine comprises of. They might not be a British speaker. They might not be a native English speaker. So the way prepositions are used in your country might not be the way they're used here. Excuse me. So, how are prepositions used here? And that's my other hack. Think of what the preposition is doing. Is it showing you a direction? If it's showing you a direction, I'm going to give you the common words that are used to indicate a direction. Is a preposition showing you a place? A big word for place is location. Then there are prepositions that show you place and location. So think of what you want to use a preposition to do. And when you've thought of the work the preposition does, it's most likely that you will then choose the correct one. Even then, it's sometimes hard, isn't it? Please have a look at the sentence on the screen. I placed my book on the bookshelf. What's the difference? Have a look. Sometimes, depending on what we intend to say, we might change the preposition. What about when I said I placed my book on the bookshelf? It meant that there was a layer in the bookcase on which I put my book, didn't it? So, prepositions can change the meaning of a sentence. I'm going to pause the video here, and in part 2, we're going to have a look at different types of prepositions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of the video on prepositions. I do these videos in bits because of individuals who use this page who might struggle with the data bundles. We are going to look at one of the most common uses of prepositions, and that is to show place or location. They tell you where something is. We're going to be working with common prepositions like on, at, in. At would refer to a place. So, to would refer to direction as well. On might refer to a surface. How about sentence number 1? I parked my car in the car park. It meant I took my car into a space, didn't I? I parked my car in the car park. Please have a look at the sentence on the screen. Excuse me. I forgot my wallet at the mall. I forgot my wallet at the mall. Inside a place, at, like a supermarket. Where are you now? I am at Tesco's, a supermarket, at Tesco's. On. I put my book on the table. I put my book on the table, a surface. Sometimes we use on for trains. I am on the 7:15 train to London Waterloo. In for the carriage or coach. I'm in the second carriage on the train. I'm in coach number 1, in a part of the train. Home. I'm at home recording this video. How about a building? I'm in my house. These prepositions answer the question, where? Where are you? I'm in my house recording a video. I'm at home. Where do you live? I live in Hampshire. I live on a slope. I am in a cul-de-sac. Have a look at the sentences, please. President Beer. There has to be a President Beer sentence. President Beer has gone abroad. Abroad might also sound like an adverb because it's describing the verb to go. Gone is the past participle verb to go, isn't it? But President Beer has gone abroad on a holiday. Have a look at my sentences. 1. President Beer has gone abroad. And 2. President Beer has gone abroad on a holiday. Some prepositions might sound like adverbs. Above. The sky is above my head. My chandelier is above my head. It took me ages to assemble that chandelier. I'm looking across to the footpath at dog walkers. Across. What does the word across mean? So cross means to go over. Across comes from the verb to cross, doesn't it? My glance is going over a space to another location. I'm looking across the path at dog walkers. I'm leaning against my display unit. On, against. Sometimes against has a different meaning. Come along. John walked along with a swagger. He walked along the road with a swagger. Along shows a distance, innit? It indicates length. He walked along the road. Amid, in the middle. Middle, amid, between something. Do you use the word amid still? He stood amid the crowd, in the middle. Do you use that? See you around. Around, meaning to encircle something, doesn't it? He's going around telling people he won the lottery when he hasn't. We've looked at away. Efwa is going away to Abuja, going off, leaving one place and going somewhere else. Efwa is going away to Abuja. What's behind me? What's behind me? Can you see my display unit? I assembled that display unit myself. I built it all by myself. Wasn't hard. Below. I was looking at what was below the table, underneath the surface. I am below the target that I'm aiming for. I'm not yet there. Beneath is a similar word. I'm thinking of an example. Have you got one example for beneath? Can you help me? Beside me is a very soft cushion. I quite like my cushions. That's beside me, next to me. Between. Can you think of an example for the preposition between, please? I stood between John and Babatunji. Beyond. Looking beyond that building, I can see the post office. I'm going to continue with prepositions that show you our direction. So, I'm going to look at how something moves or how it travels. For me to do that, I might need a preposition. Prepositions are versatile as well. Have you noticed? They're quite versatile. They can function as a preposition that shows you a place, or they can indicate a direction. I'm going to use some of the words I've already used before. We cruised along the river on the surface of the water. We cruised along the river. A4 ran 3 laps around the village, encircling the village. The ball was kicked down the stairs. Babatunde stood among the crowd, inside, in the middle. I'm going to continue with the local prepositions, and the last preposition was beyond. So the next preposition is by. A4 stood by a mango tree next to, close by. Close by my house is a farm adjacent. I'm looking down at my carpet. From. Across from me is my child's bookcase. Away in the distance. In. I'm in my house. In my bag is my wallet. I'm in the supermarket. I'm going to name the supermarket. I'm at Tesco's. I went into Tesco's to get some cucumbers. Have a look at the sentences of the screen, please. Can you tell the difference? Beneath, I've come back to that. She stood beneath an apple tree, daydreaming. Underneath an apple tree. Inside my bag was a whole wad of used tissues, confined in a space inside. Afua stood near the post office, close by. On my tea table is a coaster, where I put my teacup on, a coaster. Opposite my house is a farm, across from my house. In a linear direction, opposite my house is a farm. I got myself out of trouble, luckily. I was in trouble. I got myself out of it. April went outside to water her plants. Over the course of time, I have learned so much. Duration. Over there, direction. Over there is where April lives. Speak to me, please. I'm going to the shops this afternoon. I'm not. Under my sofa was my child's toy. My child put his toy under the sofa. Below it, underneath the tree where Ethel was standing, there were a lot of fallen leaves below the tree. Upon have a look at the example on the screen. Inside of the box were a lot of hidden treasures. Some prepositions are 2 words. Next to Babatunji's house was a kiosk. He drove off the verge before the police stopped him, away from. Up. I'm looking up at my chandelier. My chandelier again. Onto. Out of. Outside of. Through. We're going through a tunnel. Going from one end to another. I'm going through hard times. The car came towards me and I was frightened. Can you think of any other prepositions? Have ones that indicate the time to round up. See you at 2 p.m. Precisely at 2 p.m. I might come around 2 p.m.-ish. Not sure. I wake up in the morning. I go to bed at night. In the afternoon, I like to do my ironing. By evening, I'm shattered. I have looked at prepositions to talk about place, haven't I? Specifically, like when you're in a supermarket, because this is once people get confused. At Sainsbury's. I went into Sainsbury's to get some vegetables. I'm in Sainsbury's, I can't speak. What were the differences again? Do you remember? So those were prepositions, isn't it?